What's up, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with another New York Giants video. As always, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. That always helps out big. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, especially if you want New York Giants content, because Giants training camp right around the corner. There's going to be a lot of Giants content coming on this channel. Chris and I will be live. We're talking Giants very soon. And obviously, the big question going into the training camp is, what is the deal with Saquon Barkley? Now, the last 5 years in a row, we were a really, really poor team. I don't think there's any question about that. Maybe the worst team in football. Last year gave us a lot of hope. The Giants were ahead of schedule. I don't think anybody predicted the Giants to go to the play. I mean, some people did, but a lot of people did not predict the Giants to be a playoff team. We were able to get into the playoffs, win a playoff game against Minnesota. We inevitably got beat by the eventual NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. But I would say that the New York Giants season was a success last year, especially considering what we had dealt with for the last 5 years. And now you look at 2023, they showed up Daniel Jones, Dexter Lawrence. You know, they had another really good draft this year, in my opinion. They added a Darren Waller. They added a Paris Campbell. And you have hope that the Giants will continue to improve. Now, will Saquon Barkley be a part of this team? Obviously, Saquon Barkley was a massive part of what we did on offense last year. And there's no question about that. He is the best player on our offense when he's there, in my opinion. I don't think there's a better offensive player than Saquon Barkley on our team. But the Giants and Saquon Barkley have, I think, 5 days to figure it out. Can they get something done by July 17th? Or if they don't, Saquon Barkley has to make the decision. Is he going to play under the franchise tag, or is he going to sit out the year? Listen, man, in my heart, in my gut, whatever, I think Saquon's coming back here. I think Saquon will be here this year, whether they get a long-term deal done or not. I don't think Saquon's sitting out the season. He may. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. I just don't think it'd be good for him, because you would sit out a year, you'd be another year older. I'm not saying he'd be out of football shape. He'd be out of football shape, though. I mean, you can lift as many weights as you want. We all seen those workouts. He is a physical specimen. I mean, the man is a beast. There's a guy that hits the gym as often as I do. I marvel at these guys who have the genetics and just the physical makeup that these guys have. It's ridiculous, okay? They are not human. These guys are a different specimen. He is jacked beyond belief. But there's a difference between being in gym shape and football shape. Anyway, I digress. The other thing with Saquon Barkley is this. You know, there's been all these reports or rumors out there that the Giants offered him $14 million a year, and then they offered him $12.5 million a year, and he turned it down. And I don't know how much of that's true. I don't know what the guaranteed money was, the contract, whatever. In my opinion, if Saquon Barkley was offered $14 million a year and Saquon had to say, Saquon would have taken that. I don't think Saquon's trying to be difficult here. I think the agent had a lot to do with this thing not getting done. And unfortunately, players' agents do have a lot to do with the contract negotiations. That's what they hire them for, so that they can get the most for their player. And in turn, the agent can get the most for themselves because they get a percentage of the contract. The problem with Saquon is, and not the problem with Saquon, but the problem with, you know, the agent are trying to get as much money as it can, is the running back market is kind of dried up. Right? It's like if the housing market is bad and it's a buyer's market, okay, where housing prices are lower, you can't sit there and put your house $50,000 above market value and think you're going to sell it. So the running back market's just not great. The running back, and I don't like it, but in my opinion, it's kind of getting phased out of the game. It's more of a passing league now. It's very rare to find a football team that has their running back carry the ball 25 to 30 times a game every game. I don't think that exists anymore. Maybe Derrick Henry, but it's rare to find that every down back, every series back. A lot of these guys split carries, especially with an extra game, because you want them to be fresh. So their role is kind of, I don't want to say it's getting squeezed out, but it's certainly not as prevalent as it used to be. So it kind of hurts the value of the running back. And these guys don't have the longest shelf life. I feel like they have the shortest shelf life, which is why I understand when a running back gets done with that rookie contract, they want to score big. It's their one opportunity to really score big because they're right in the prime of their career as that hits. By the time that second contract's over, they're kind of on the downside for the most part, unless you're guys like Adrian Peterson or Frank Gore or guys that last forever. Usually you're kind of becoming on the downside at that point. Saquon had an incredible rookie season. He was electric, and then he dealt with a lot of injuries. And then he came back, in 2022, and he had another magnificent season. But we did see after the Texans game when he had whatever it was, 35, 36 carries. It was a lot of carries. I forgot the amount, but he kind of declined a little bit. People could say that's because defenses just, loaded up the box to stop Saquon, but he might have been tired. So again, it's a lot of supply and demand. But what I do know is this. Now, I've seen this with New York teams. I've seen it with the Yankees. I've seen it with the Giants. I've seen it with the Jets. I don't know so much of the Mets have done this. But a lot of times I've seen my teams, the teams I root for, bid against themselves. Like there's no other competition. The Yankees do this more than any team. There's no competition, but they will just fork over a boatload of money like they're bidding against the rest of the league. And I don't think Joe Shane and Brandon Brown are going to do that. I don't. I think they understand that there's not a really gigantic market for the running back at this point. And the Giants have all the leverage because, yes, Saquon either plays under this tag or he doesn't play at all. Because the Giants have that luxury of tagging him. So Saquon ends up losing either way. He either plays a year for $10 million, which he thinks he's worth more than that, or he doesn't play at all and he doesn't get paid at all. So, and then, like I said, he's a year removed and he's a year older. And then you got to hope that some team wants to, bid for your services. I don't think this was supposed to be malicious, but I know when Chris and I talked to Patty Trainer, we do the Giant show with Patty. I think we were all in agreement that we knew the Daniel Jones one was going to get done first, and that would probably be their priority. The quarterback is the most important position on any football team, and that the Saquon Barkley thing could get a bit contentious. And I don't know if it is contentious, but it has not been easy, and it is coming down to the wire here. And again, I don't know what's going on with Saquon's head, but in my heart, I know Saquon's a good kid. I know he's a leader in that locker room. You don't hear anything bad about Saquon. He's an incredibly hard worker. He says all the right things. He's a fantastic talent. I want him here. I want him to be a Giant. I feel like he will be. I don't know if they're going to get a deal done by the time he has to decide whether he wants to play on this tag or not. But in my opinion, he's going to play on the tag. And while the Giants, have him tagged and have him under team control, then they're going to try to figure something out. I don't think the Giants want. I know the Giants don't want him to walk away. But if they tag him and he's there, then they have the whole year to negotiate a contract. So, in my heart of hearts, that's what I think is going to happen. I don't know that they're going to get something done before July 17th. But in my heart of hearts, Saquon is a Giant in 2023 and beyond. Whether that contract gets done before July 17th or he signs that he's going to play on the franchise tag and they get something done after it. Again, just my opinion, as always. Thank you for watching. Let me know your opinion in the comments section, and we'll see you next time. It's the Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.